Let me start with something that might surprise you. Most people believe that living to 100 requires expensive supplements, rare superfoods, or extreme routines. But the truth is far simpler, and it comes from Nobel Prize winning research that studied why some people stay strong, clear-minded, and active well past 90. The answer wasn't hidden in a pill, it was sitting on their plates every single day. And no, it's not what most people think. If you're a man over 50, your body is not broken, but it is changing. Digestion slows down, muscles don't respond the way they used to, inflammation creeps in quietly, and energy isn't as steady as it once was. Many men blame age, but age is only part of the story. The real issue is that the body after 50 becomes far less forgiving. What you eat either heals you slowly or drains you silently. Nobel Prize winning research into longevity revealed something powerful. Long-living people don't eat more, they eat smarter. They eat foods that support cells, reduce internal stress, and keep the blood clean and flowing. These foods are simple, traditional, and often overlooked because they're not fashionable. One of the biggest mistakes men make after 50 is eating heavy, complex meals too often and too late in the day. The body no longer recovers overnight the way it did at 30. When digestion is overloaded, energy is stolen from repair. This is when joints stiffen, the mind feels foggy, and mornings feel heavier than they should. People who lived long, healthy lives followed a rhythm. They ate with the sun, not against it. Their main meals came earlier in the day, when digestion was strongest. Evenings were lighter, calmer, and shorter. This single habit reduced strain on the liver, the gut, and the heart, three systems that determine how fast we age. Another challenge men face after 50 is silent inflammation. You may not feel it, but it shows up as stiffness, tiredness, and slow recovery. The foods these long-living populations ate daily were naturally anti-inflammatory, not because they were labeled that way, but because they were close to nature and minimally altered. They didn't snack all day. They allowed the body time to rest between meals. This rest is when repair happens. Cells clean themselves, systems reset. This process is one of the strongest predictors of longevity found in modern science, and it costs nothing. Here's the most important thing to understand: living longer isn't about adding something exotic. It's about removing what the body no longer tolerates well after 50 and returning to simple, nourishing foods eaten at the right time, in the right way. One of the most consistent foods found in the diets of people who lived close to 100 was not rare, expensive, or modern. It was humble, filling, and deeply nourishing. Whole grains, especially those eaten in their natural form, were a daily foundation. Not refined flour, not packaged cereals, but grains that still had their life intact. For men over 50, this matters more than ever. As we age, blood sugar becomes less stable, digestion becomes more sensitive, and energy highs and lows feel stronger. Refined foods push the body too hard. They spike energy and then drop it suddenly, creating strain on the heart and the nerves. Whole grains do the opposite. They release energy slowly, keeping the body steady instead of shocked. Nobel Prize level research into cellular aging showed that steady energy is one of the keys to long life. Cells age faster when they are constantly pushed and pulled by extremes. Whole grains support balance. They feed the beneficial bacteria in the gut, which quietly control inflammation, immunity, and even mood. Men often avoid grains after 50 because they think all grains are harmful. The truth is, the body struggles not with grains, but with grains that have been stripped, bleached, and altered. Traditional cultures ate grains that were soaked, cooked gently, and eaten in reasonable amounts. This made them easy to digest and deeply satisfying. Timing also played a role. Long-living people didn't eat heavy grain-based meals late at night. Grains were eaten earlier in the day, often at breakfast or midday, when the body could use that slow energy for movement, work, and repair. This prevented weight gain, sluggishness, and restless sleep. Another quiet benefit of whole grains is their mineral content. After 50, men lose minerals more easily through stress, medication, and poor absorption. Minerals are not just for bones, they support the heart rhythm, nerve signals, and muscle strength. Whole grains provide these minerals in a form the body recognizes. Lifestyle mattered just as much as food. These people didn't eat in a rush. They sat down, chewed well, and stopped before feeling full. This habit alone reduces digestive stress and improves nutrient absorption. Eating calmly tells the nervous system that it is safe to repair rather than defend. If you want to live long, the goal is not to eat less food, but to eat food that works with your body instead of against it. Simple grains, prepared traditionally and eaten at the right time, do exactly that. Another food that appeared again and again in the diets of people who lived long, active lives was something many men underestimate or avoid as they get older. Fresh vegetables, especially those grown close to the soil and eaten daily, were not a side dish for these people. They were the center of the meal. For men over 50, vegetables are no longer optional. As the body ages, it produces more waste at the cellular level and clears it more slowly. When this waste builds up, you feel it as stiffness, heaviness, and low energy. Vegetables support the body's natural cleansing systems, especially the liver and the digestive tract. Nobel Prize level research into cellular health has shown that plant compounds help protect cells from early aging. These compounds don't work in isolation. They work together, which is why whole vegetables are more powerful than extracted supplements. The body understands food better than pills. Long-living populations ate a wide variety of vegetables, but they didn't overcomplicate things. Leafy greens, root vegetables, and simple seasonal produce were eaten daily. Many were lightly cooked, not raw all the time, which made them easier to digest for older bodies. Cooking gently breaks down fibers without destroying nourishment. Timing mattered here too. Vegetables were eaten throughout the day, but especially with the largest meal. This helped slow digestion, kept blood sugar steady, and reduced overeating. Men who struggle with weight after 50 often find that increasing vegetables naturally reduces cravings without forcing restriction. Another important point is circulation. As men age, blood vessels can lose flexibility. This affects energy, focus, and physical strength. Vegetables rich in natural minerals and plant compounds help keep circulation smooth and steady. This is one reason long-living people stayed active well into old age without extreme exercise routines. Lifestyle played a supporting role. These people moved their bodies daily, but gently. Walking after meals was common. This simple habit improved digestion, supported circulation, and reduced pressure on the heart. You don't need intense workouts to age well. You need consistent natural movement. Men often eat vegetables quickly or as an afterthought. Long-living cultures treated meals as part of health, not a break from it. They ate slowly, appreciated what was on the plate, and stopped when satisfied. This calm approach reduces stress hormones that quietly age the body. Vegetables also supported the gut, which becomes more important with age. A healthy gut means better absorption of nutrients, stronger immunity, and a clearer mind. Many problems blamed on aging actually begin in the digestive system. The next food that showed up consistently in the lives of people who lived long, healthy years was one many men overlook because it seems too simple to matter. Natural fats, used gently and wisely, were not feared by these people. They were respected. For men over 50, the body responds very differently to fats than it did in younger years. Hormonal balance shifts. Joints may feel less flexible, and the brain can feel slower when the right fats are missing. Long-living populations didn't avoid fats. They avoided damaged fats. What they used daily were traditional, stable fats that the body could recognize and use. These fats supported the nervous system, protected the joints, and helped the body absorb vitamins from vegetables. Without fat, many nutrients pass through unused. This is why people low-fat diets often feel tired, dry, and weak as they age. Timing again made a difference. Fats were usually eaten earlier in the day or with the main meal, not late at night. This allowed the body to use them for energy and repair rather than store them. Evening meals were lighter, giving the liver and digestive system a chance to rest. Another benefit of natural fats is satisfaction. Men who include enough healthy fat in meals tend to snack less and feel calmer between meals. This steadiness reduces stress on the heart and the nervous system, two areas that become more sensitive with age. Nobel Prize. Related research into brain health and aging shows that the brain relies heavily on fat for structure and function. Long-living people maintain mental clarity not through mental strain, but through nourishment and routine. They slept regularly, ate predictably, and avoided constant stimulation late into the night. Lifestyle habits supported the food choices. These people spent time outdoors daily. Sunlight helped regulate internal clocks, which affects digestion and sleep. Good sleep is one of the strongest predictors of long life, and it is deeply connected to what and when you eat. Men over 50 often eat late, sleep poorly, and wake feeling unrested. This cycle ages the body faster than many realize. Simple changes, earlier meals, calmer evenings, and consistent routines can reverse much of this pattern. The people who lived long lives didn't chase health trends. They lived in rhythm. They ate foods that nourished, stopped before excess, and gave the body time to recover each day. When you look closely at the lives of people who reached 100 with strength and clarity, you begin to see a pattern. It was never about one miracle food or a single rule. It was about consistency, simplicity, and respect for the body's natural design. Nobel Prize winning research confirmed what these people practiced without scientific language. The body heals when it is not constantly overloaded. For men over 50, this understanding is powerful. Aging is not a sudden decline. It is the result of years of small stresses adding up. The good news is that small, steady changes can also add up to renewal. The foods these long-living people ate every day, simple grains, abundant vegetables, and natural fats, worked together to support every system quietly. Timing tied everything together. Meals were predictable. The largest meal came when the sun was high. Evenings were lighter, calmer, and shorter. This gave the digestive system time to rest and the body time to repair. Many men noticed better sleep, clearer thinking, and steadier energy within weeks of adjusting meal timing alone. Lifestyle filled in the gaps. These people moved daily, but gently. Walking was common, especially after meals. This supported digestion and circulation without stressing the body. They didn't push through exhaustion. They rested when tired and rose with the day. This rhythm protected the heart and the nervous system. Another important factor was stress. Long-living people didn't live without problems, but they didn't carry stress all day in their bodies. They ate slowly, spent time with others, and connected with nature. These habits reduce the internal tension that silently damages cells over time. Men often believe strength comes from pushing harder. Longevity teaches a different lesson. Strength comes from supporting the body, not fighting it. When the body feels safe and nourished, it repairs itself naturally. One of the most overlooked habits was stopping before full. These people left the table satisfied, not heavy. This single practice reduced strain on digestion, improved circulation, and kept weight stable without effort. If you take one thing from this, let it be this: living longer is not about doing more. It's about doing less of what harms and more of what quietly helps. Simple foods eaten at the right time, with calm routines, can change how you age. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions. Start with one meal, eat earlier. Choose simple, whole foods, walk a little, sleep a little better. Over time, these small choices create a body that feels lighter, clearer, and stronger, even as the years move forward. That is the quiet secret behind long life.